Alright. Well, that should be the start, everybody. I do believe. Welcome. I'm, of course, BogMod. We are playing Endwalker. Yeah. So we're hard at work helping out the alchemists, because they think they found a way to shield tempering. Between that and the cure, I mean, we're kind of solving some issues here, aren't we? Have your giant skull. And there's possibly a Magus Sisters fight on the way, which I'm, of course, looking forward to. Yeah. They're going to test their ability to shield others in the same way that, I guess, our own tempering from the echo protects us from being tempered by others.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well.
Hi, Thancred.
You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration.
Damn nihilists.
This war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Getting pretty philosophical there, Orianger, about, people who just want to murder everything.
Poetic and ominous to a fault.
Yeah.
That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts?
I'm going to go to the limb here, Thancred. Personally, I don't think I've entertained the idea of being like, you know what? Maybe I should kill everyone. Just murder every innocent person out there. And guilty person. Just kill them all. I don't think I've been there.
There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
Because I think there's a difference between despair and like this outward hatred for everything else that goes with it.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
I'm glad to know he was able to escape the alchemist without being... Oh, was that Fan Daniel? Are you being a creepy little perv on us, Fan Daniel?
What did you see? Fan Daniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds. This is the one.
At long last! Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments. We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
We have really, like I kind of mentioned in my little,
I thank you for your kind words.
little
But
little
I would
blurb,
prefer you keep them unsaid
topic,
until
whatever you
we
want to
test
call
the
it.
talisman's efficacy in the field.
We've transitioned from tempering is a unique threat that only the rarest of individuals can counter, to we have the cure, we have the vaccine. Takes a little bit of the magic out of it when it was just a matter of, did we throw enough science at the problem?
To accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
That said, it is a natural enough story progression. I think we've had enough of it being this great threat that we can. I think we can. I'm okay with us moving away from it. No, so it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
Always put the most valuable members of your team at the start of any weird experiments. Gotcha.
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
That said, I think a lot of medical stuff was progressed by doctors being like, to hell with testing it on others.
I'll have one of the
Give me that
soldiers in
tube.
the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
I certainly won't begrudge her bravery, though. Her conviction. Possibly her wisdom. But the others is fine. All right. A few other quests to turn in still. Carry me hand! And this fruit is present to the desired mate, scent the scented oils, pheromones, you see. That is also the official fruit. You can eat it, use it as a painting material, but it also wards off evil. And, man, this fruit does everything! It's a super fruit. And it has antibacterial properties. Take that, kale. He's 6, huh? No, I want to check something. Okay, looks like I've got all of their... I've done all their quests. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Have your stones. From evil. Ah, it's sure that you, as well as we, may live in a peaceful life. Yeah. So crystals in this world are a magical special thing. Da da da. Nope. Monster changed its mind. Can I fall off this cliff? Yes. Hamster tracks. Let's go grab this little bit of the map. There we are. I'll do this and then I'll continue the main plot. Looking for the critter that shed those feathers. Aha! Oh, right, the hamsters. There you are, buddy. Ham is unhurt and unfazed. Alright. Tower of Zot. Ah. Well, as you all know, and I've mentioned plenty of times, and I'll say again, Final Fantasy IV, I think, is my favorite of the Final Fantasies. So that we're doing a Tower of Zot story bit with the Magus Sisters pleases me. Rather finer book than I expected, but I won't complain. Alright. To the Tower of Zot with Nidana.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could.
Right up to the very gates.
So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps.
I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. What?
Hello. You always forget about the magic chains, right? Oh, look at this place. Little Geiger-esque. Gotta give everything those ribs. Not the elephant, indeed.
Let me go! Let me go!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
in the wall.
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
So, if I recall, he's animating the body of a guy from Allegan.
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Van Daniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am.
I can work with this. The whole once having been shattered and given that. I mean, I would have been happy kind of going either way. I think ultimately.
How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes?
Yes.
Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
At your service.
Oh, Ammon. Yes, I have heard he made he cloned the king guy, didn't he? You fight him in the tower?
Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need.
He cloned his I think he cloned his king.
Day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without
You do fight. I thought so.
conceive of such delightful experiments. That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only.
Hey, I remember parts. I don't remember forget everything. Yeah, Ammon, yeah. It was an important name.
Hungry for stimulation.
And I did the tower stuff several times.
Slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot.
I always liked the Allegan stuff. Maybe that was why.
Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend
Yeah, I was right.
and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Armon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself.
Ooh.
See what lies ahead. The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
Ah, yes, the old sentiment. If it doesn't last forever and ever, it has no value. Oh, he scarpered while I was having a vision.
So easily distracted. Why? I almost left without saying.
I was going to say. How dare you take advantage of my flashbacks?
As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals.
Although I suppose that really does kind of answer. You know, from their perspective, I just, like, grabbed my head and stood there in silence doing nothing for a few minutes. Just like, hello? Are you alive?
If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again. Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
So, trinket successful, but there was an evil wizard. As happens. Well, evil wizard. I mean, we have the shield, right? So I'm going to swing by, knock all those off before we port back over there. Hey, buddy. Should I selling meat, eggs, poison extracts, secret merchants? Alright. So query some mess, sprinkle some stuff. Keep monsters from setting up shop. Alright, now here's one thing I am a little unsure about. Maybe someone watching can answer. Nope. No. The in Azus Liz, I think that's the floating island place where Tiamat was hanging out, and we learned about somebody who was trying to figure out tempering. Was that also Amon, or was that a different person? Ooh, a large egg. Because when we travel there with our good cat boy, and we're trying to investigate what they knew about tempering and all that to try and work on the cure part. Jason does not remember. All right, fair enough. I couldn't remember if that was also Amon or a different figure. Could have been either one. Hard to tell. Now, if I recall, the Allegan Empire destroyed itself with the Dalamud and the Crystal Tower, I think, wasn't it? Was there an earthquake or something that buried their empire? I feel like that's it. They made the fake moon for power. And then there was a power surge, as is wont to happen. And it crushed their empire. Yeah. Ah, good. Which, from what we've also learned from the other... from the last chapter of the whole storyline, presumably that was also around when the Asians caused another merging, presumably? Alright, I've got good news and I've got bad news, Thancred. Do more, but you're right to turn here first. Yeah. So good news, Talisman works great. Bad news, she did get sucked into a wall. Yeah. Yeah, make the warding scales, check out the tower, do science to her. Yes. Oh. I mean, slightly suspicious about the off-screen satrap. You know how the nobility can be in these games. Let's come to these gates, and I'll show you the way to the city. All right. Here's Ham Ham. Oh. Alright, yeah. Maybe if you ever fix that place, I'll visit. Oh, and I leveled up. Go me! Working my troopers raising the birds of the hatchery. Yeah, have the egg, buddy. Yep. Labor loss. Have your knife and your bark. Expect incense. All right. We helped everybody. Now, where do I go? Ah, up there. Now, this area was blocked off to me before, if we recall. Kept me from getting all of my ether points. Getting the books. Those of you who've also played this, which did you go here first or stay in Charlene? I'm not sure if I really care about the Jamel design. It's like if a giraffe and a camel had a really ugly baby. Ooh, right. The Taurus is currently in a state of high alert. Special permission. All right.
A vast rock squats upon Thavnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Radz-at-Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye.
That sounds like Emmett Selk's voice actor.
The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun.
It is his voice actor. Excellent.
Sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet.
It's good to know he hasn't completely left us.
Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets.
Il-Sabard, Radz-at-Han.
But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
He's just the narrator now? You know what? It's a good way to keep around. He had a good voice.
Here we are, Megaduta. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside.
I wonder if Farshawn is actually secretly the satrap. With how games like this go, there's a non-zero chance he's the satrap.
Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Even this, he might still be the satrap.
Ah, splendid. Most splendid.
This does decrease the chance a little bit.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radz-at-Han.
Look at that little... He's got the whole little mustache thing going on. I'm not saying he necessarily is. I'm just saying, like, the young ruler who has some guy faking it for him while he goes around and does his own little things. Not unheard of in these kinds of games. So I wouldn't have been like horribly shocked if we get this kind of reveal. I will say, he's got enough of a design. Might not be the case. Could it very easily, but I was wrong. Hey, just because he's here, he could be faking it for the young guy. Still not. I'm still a non-zero chance. And I wasn't saying it was the case, just that it could be.
Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have...
I'm not thinking enough layers. Damn onions!
Forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
Wait. Am I the ruler of the country? Is that what you're implying? I mean, I'll accept. I'll be the boss.
I assume you speak of Nadana. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman. That it will be instrumental in saving Nadana and the others.
Yeah, it worked.
I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
Oh, could you imagine? Look, these appear to be drapes. Could you imagine how long that it would have taken someone or some people to make this?
I think not.
Oh.
This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Oh! I was right to be suspicious, it seems.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
Ah.
As you wish.
So I was right to be suspicious that it wasn't going to be just a direct, simple meeting.
Assistance to the students of Valdesian. But you are known to me.
Huh? Oh, it's a Dargan.
Here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
This is another one of Midgard Stormer's kids. What are the eggs he brought with him from the other planet?
Vritra of the first brood.
Yeah, there we go.
Tracevelga and Nidhogg.
I, mine elder brothers, of Midgard Stormer's spawn, I was last to hatch.
It's the baby.
Well,
The runt of the litter.
We were told Radzat Han had an alliance with the dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the Satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone.
That reminds me, Vitra. Isn't that also the name? Because I'm sure they're kind of drawing on the same sources here. But that sounds like the name of the first major antagonist foe from Azura's Wrath.
In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility.
Now they're going to town on the piano.
When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radz Athan.
Does Nobuo Uematsu have any input into the Final Fantasy XIV music? Or have they moved on to other composers by this stage? I'm not sure if he's... I don't know if... Has he fully retired from it?
But if Ritra is still here, then your position as Satrap is just...
A charade. Yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, and the fires of war would burn without end,
Yeah, they want your eyeballs, buddy.
I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was
Oh!
taken.
I thought... Oh, there it is. Okay, Uematsu did a bit for 1.0. Answers was by him, but it's been soaking since. Okay. Aha! So I was right to be suspicious about the circumstances and what was going on with the kid and the satrapy. I didn't have the full picture, but I was right to suspect, there could be something going on here.
The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my wind.
So in a way, I was in fact right. The kid is the satrap. Just the kid is more than just the kid.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I think I did pretty good for suspecting something was going to be up. And getting parts of it. I'm pleased with myself.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses.
Yeah, fair enough, but I mean, he's the Azure Dragoon.
Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered. Estinian warm blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another. Yet did neither one of us bear his...
Yeah, they're definitely going to town on that piano.
That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz Athan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Padalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions, and should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales.
Yeah. I'm in agreement.
However, that even the 4 of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go, steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charm.
Very reasonable. I like this plan.
It seems a quick trip back to Charlian is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Radzat-Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
Oh, Westinian's come so far. Result. Yeah, no, I tuned, buddy. Now, hold on. Can I not? Still can't get through there. Okay. This half of the map still off limits to me. Alright. Back we go. All right, well, you know what? You know what? Before we do that, I'm going to distract myself with hitting the books. See if we can kind of have the two storylines meet up in perhaps a more natural point. The Numenon. As on system, you're only permitted to browse the first floor. All right. Ooh, they've in the opening videos, This. I think this is the library they show. And Catboy's in here. Let's see. The Archon Nunkrep, town of Charlene, belongs to the man savage a man bought by the brink of despair. Thus. Announce the ways of war, pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. Was the 6th? Is that the Allegan one? Ah. Like any other. Of crops, entering about wells and sewers, ending souls of water. It's going to be better for wealth of coin. Forever 20 summons. Lift your goals. And forever 20 summers young. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Alright. Then live healthy lives, eh? Alright. An introduction to the heavens. And we'll know this nation. The stars are further apart. It may indeed forever do so. Primitive study of the stars and all that. Astrology. Unpopular. Debates. 201 of the 6th Astral Era. Strongly would transition to a new form of governance. To a representative kind of democracy? Yeah. The colony. Is this where this little colony they're talking about? That's where Matoya is, right? For impression, most to recognize will become the first house of Shoreline Colony. We would simply refer to it as the Emporium. I'm trying to claim that. That is it. Yeah. The story of Charlian. Some astrology divined that a flood of tearing proportions. Oh no, the flood was a different one from the Allegan? There's a flood and an earthquake. And then They count Dalamud, I think. I think we're in the 7th. I think. I'm not the fullest on my Astral Era history. The crew sets out in the Impaled Realm. No, set up on that very spot. Oh, could that arc be how we're going to get to space? Maybe. Hello, fellow nerds. I'm reading along. Nah, I'm fine. There's a few promising volumes of Krill should be along shortly. Nothing in the final days. Yeah, I imagine there's very little lore, given how the world got split about the final days. Outside. Miss your home. Aww. Your father checks us out. The if Alfred and I were to return to Charlotte, never to cross the threshold. He is being a bad dad. This just one day, I'm certain of it. I don't know. People do sometimes die in this game, I will say. Far away. Partnerships get tribes of Mikoto to serve as laborers. There, oh, there it is, yes. So the 4th Umbral Era had the earthquake that destroyed them. 5th had the Ice Age. 5th was Ice Age. 6th was Flood. 7th was, I think, Dalamud. Of course, under Garlean rule. In the region of Locus Amonis. The North House Darnus. That's a familiar sounding name. She was first considered plan of action. Banning range customs. After all, the Algan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Yes. His special Algan Eye. The connection. Yes. He's got the special bloodline. Thancred was... Oh, right! Thancred was adopted by the Archon Louisoix. Louisoix? Mr. Nation with still can be proud. Yeah. Find out what's the forum up to. Flying carpets. Ooh. that would definitely be like, if you were to learn history in this world, like as a student, that would be when you're in, probably elementary school, you'd be expected to learn what are the seven eras, that sort of deal, right? There'd be a little piece of paper and have various astral eras and be like, connect with a line each era to the disaster which ended it. Yeah. There could be, speaking of unexpected sources, there could be Ascian meddling in what they're up to. Here's the events of the Umrot firsthand. Happy to share my story. Yeah, their power went out of control. Yeah. Their powers went wild. Causing the powers to increase spell control. Fear and despair manifests in terrible, tangible fashion. Procedure passed on. It shows surmise that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Ascians. Yeah, there was the weird sound, wasn't there? Yep, I remember they talked about a sound. It's preceded by an ominous noise. The ground was crying out. Quite the doom. What definitive action did they take? Yeah. They summoned Zodiark, who did a magic and stopped the badness. Seeing his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. And yeah, somehow he's like, stop that noise, magic work right. So everyone for this to feel the ravages of the final days. Dressed with the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Yeah. But then instead, Vanat's like, nope, genociding the rest of our people. Shattering the world. They speak of bringing back the final days. Ah, that's a good question. Well, I would imagine, having just gone over this, there would be one. Ooh, interesting thought, interesting twist. He might be going after destroying Zodiark. All right, if Zodiark is keeping the bad at bay, which is a possibility, destroying Zodiark may return the bad. Alternatively, the Telophoroi might know the source of the sound and are trying to recreate a way to bring it about. I'm going to assume this... It could be one of the others. Condition caused by unstable creation magic? Maybe. This figure of speech could be a metaphor for the scale of discretion they plan to... Could be. It was a good discussion, though. All right, Ishtola, what do you have for us? The Garen Oracles. All right. The final is truly upon us. It supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the form of behavior is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. A fair summation. More reading to be done. Look at us being giant nerds. All right. Time for a study break. You know what? Talking about taking a break, I feel like that's a well-timed comment there. I've been streaming for a little over an hour. Let's do a short break. I'm going to refill my drink, stretch my legs a bit, do all that sort of fun stuff. Thank you for watching, everyone. And yeah, I'm just like a 5 little minute. I'm going to mute my angle of things, but mute my microphone, I mean. But yeah, we'll come back in a bit. Alright, everyone. Back at it. Two more, Final Fantasy 14. We're here in Charlan. Had my little stretch. Had my little drink refill. We're off to have some tea. Some crackers, perhaps. Is this snow or is this... I don't think it's snow. I guess it could be, actually. Or a lot of pollen in the air. I'm not sure if the average citizen is informed about the Talafroy. All right. I think, Alice, you might have better luck if you just talked about their name and let the person kind of fill in their... You're poisoning the well a bit. Who's helping you? Oh. Dickon! The owner of the last stand. All right. Gossip, your father disowning the pair of you? Everything all right at home? No, been disowned. He's doing his never stay secret for long. Information on the apocalypse. Mr. Charlie, aren't you? Pass off as a server. All right. I think I'm dressed like a server. Almost for our regulars, a Highlander. Okay. The Mikto wants the lobster. Okay, I think I got that. Tea set? Yeah. The Talafahu? Never heard of them in their final days. Okay. And then... Skyla wanted... the omelet? Wait, hold on. I want to get this right. Omelet. Alright. Make toast, though. I would hate to give people the wrong food. Have your omelet. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's again. No time to waste. You know, as someone who works in the food industry, the service industry, I don't know how I'd feel if I was if I was sitting down to eat at a cafe, and someone's like, "Hey, what do you think about the apocalypse?" Yeah. Fools retire strings of his blood. All right. Urbane banner with a smile. Live in McLobster's mind. Heard of it? Sounds like the average citizen is uninformed of what's going on. Driver. Turning loads in from docks all day. Oh. What is secret knowledge? Yeah, that they've kept it secret. Thank you for the coffee. Though I prefer tea, myself.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say.
Uh-oh. I am curious. What, like, does Sharlayan just not have any pirates around? Or, like, what do they do to avoid having conflict with their neighbors?
Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
Like, what was their plan for when Garlemald eventually comes their way? Hey, it's all those supplies they were talking about. Remember the Gleaners comment? All the little thingamajigs from all around the world.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Gonna fill me in on that? Do you have any minotaurs down there?
Vast complex beneath the island. Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility.
That sounds like what one of the Allagan one of the ancients had.
Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the Gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And Gleaners answer to the Forum.
Dun dun dun.
If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Well, I think we're going to be taking a little boat ride shortly. This is a little question. Is the weather effect something that they do no matter where you go? Like, will they do snow every zone or just certain zones? Because I think Sharlayan is... How do I go out a map lever? Yeah, we are in a northerner region. The Northern Empty. Wait, is my teleportation mark not over here? Garlemald? Why is that there? Thabnir. Hmm. All right, we found a clue. Or perhaps the direction to a clue. The Gleaners. It's strict from the institution and the bureaucrats, but as you say, they answer the forum. Yeah. See what theory we can build from the facts. Information there. Most Charlians don't know what's going on. But, yeah, the forum is clearly aware of what's going on. Yes, mobilize on an unprecedented scale. They're escaping the planet. I bet that's what it is. They're collecting everything. They're going to do another arc, like when they did like how they survived the first time. A fine idea. Now, are we going to be dealing with a dungeon? Oh no! No! No, so slow! Yes, we should move along. Oh, it's the worst kind of escort quest. There we go, thank you! Go, go, go. It's better. Yes, I believe I attuned to all the shards. Oh! Though I did not get to this Jacobo, I don't think. The Hall of Artifice. Down the lift we go. Oh, but people can still access the Labyrinthos, despite all what they're up to. Little artificial sun.
Beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
Oh, they're so fluffy.
Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Labyrinthos.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
You know, you're gonna find a Balrog, you keep that up.
Aren't those people gleaners?
They look like gleaners.
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, but they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Hmm? Hmm?
Did you call to me just now? No. How odd.
Usually I'm the one who gets weird visions or hear things.
I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
I'm suspicious. Specimens. Interesting little tune they got playing in this place. Calling books or in fauna. I've seen something like this before. Ah. So they're doing a big stock. Oh, hello. Now, what is the command I use over here? Lookout? There it is. There we go. I never did get that one in, you have to climb the tower in Fake Japan. I never did get the one on top of the lamppost. Okay, what then? Large shipments coming in. Exhausted gleaners. Behold all of my clues. See more inventory, even somewhere else. You have an idea. What's the plan? Escaped marmots. All right. I'm going to capture some marmots. Yes, the goodness of my heart. Grizzled mice, okay. Just gently put them all in the sack. Gotcha. And there's monsters. Yeah, I see him over there. Big old goboos. Aha! Maybe that's designed to try and keep the monsters quiet? Grizzled mouse. Chirp squeak. Ugh. Come back, Mr. Mouse. Where are you now? Ah, there we go. Into the sack you go. Oh, hello, Mr. Mouse. Into the sack you go. Hurrah! I caught all the rats, everyone. I know you're very proud of me. And now there's even more side quests. Let's see. Cool the ammo. Alright. The weather seems off. Yeah, what's the plan with the armaments now? Inventory those. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Well. That is definitely the kind of thing if we suspect, and I do suspect, they plan to flee the planet. At least that they'd be served for dinner today or tomorrow. Yeah. Who are you folk anyways? Well... Student of Belizean, Archon, banished family members, you know. Wise and practical. It hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Yeah, I did learn things. The Goonies do not know what they're up to. Mm, 4 days after... So they barely started. It hasn't been that long since the Telophorai popped up. Super for window. Yeah. Plan long in the making, but waiting for the right time to put into effect. Alright. You know what? The idea that a nation which had survived one astral disaster may have, once they had the time, start to plan for a second one. Not a terrible forward thinking on their part. Oh, I heard a noise that time. So the Telophorai might be trying to restart the weird noise that heralded the final days. All right. Need someone that's not connected to everything that's going on to make the delivery, or else you'll lose social standing. That's fine. You get to fly around in here at any point. He wants to hunt some caribou. Okay. Looks like no ether currents to be found in this area. Not even my car gets to fly. Disease. Oh, okay. Terrifying the gleaners by spreading lies. Actually, given the size of this place, I am a little surprised that there wouldn't be a ether current. Well, maybe there is. Hold on. Oh. There are. Never mind. Never mind. Well. There are ether currents to be found up here. Okay, let's just turn this in. Then we'll go collect that ether current, and then I guess we go to this next attunement point. You know, I was really kind of hoping we'd get that Magus Sister fight. Zombie powder? You know what? Actually, I can use that. There we are. My gear set just got a little bit better. With some fancy ametrine. Yeah, I was wondering about those things. The mist sprayer. It's glowing blue. I mean, it's working. No, okay. This one doesn't look like it's working. Oh, yeah, right over there. So we can sneak past these trolls. Maybe not. But can I kill them? The answer? Yes, I can kill them. More. We can head down there. One of them, yeah. One of them was definitely out of whack. It didn't affect the temperature, but the humidity had fallen under the optimal range. Surprised there's no crystal right at the entrance, honestly. The Archaon. Okay. Specimens as well as detours to describe them. Physical history of their unrivaled dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Of course, we get our Chocobo Keep. Tune to that Aetherite. Oh, the remix of that Chocobo theme. Oh, it even took me upstairs. I admit, giant underground fake forest? Not where I expected this Labyrinthos to go. Not in the least. That's supposed to be... Okay. It's the gem guy. Chatbert. A lively Coblin. Oh. Alright. I'm missing Coblin. You know, I really hope that somehow, some way, when we get to the moon, Hildebrand will find his way up there. Wouldn't that be amazing? Start with the feeding. Alright. Feed the carnivores and possibly fight them. Alright, some. The burly researcher. The sounds using hand. Alright, he wants to help haul some goods. Okay. For the vaults. The students of Baldesion. Leave the vaults, or those who are in the public at least, are open to the public. There's restricted. Oh. I mean, this isn't this isn't a terrible excuse. We're doing a big reorganization. We can't have people interrupting things. Oh, prior to giving defensive inventory. The restructuring, eh? Oh! Rolls. For to grease ourselves. Once again, we will suck up to people by doing favors for them. It is the adventure way. Oh, I have a shark. I don't remember where I got a shark. But I have a shark. No? So I do think I have put together enough clues about what's happening at this point. Between, what I know about the games and all that sort of stuff. I think it is clear that the Charlians are planning to be like, you know what? We have a way to avoid the apocalypse, and we're just going to flee the planet. And now it's a matter of the characters catching up to what I know. Or think I know. And you know what? I'm okay with the idea that they haven't put it all together yet. The idea that they're going to flee to the moon is just outlandish enough for them to not jump to that conclusion. Something alive, something in the pot. Let's go with it. It's a Namazu. Come with a pot for a nice nap before noon. Switch way for an adventure. I can pay my part to understand. Alright. I'm glad we could help him out with his problem. Okay, so let's quickly, since we're heading south anyways, we'll knock off those two. We'll get the, there's another point over here, I believe. Yeah, and then I can port back. Good old Cavey Cave. I'm sure I'll be back to deal with you in a bit. Troglophiles Deep. Mithril caps. There it is. Bone weary worker. And a chance, but no, rest. All right. Somebody is headed that way. Might be an opportunity. Data claims of a work titled Goblin Cuisine. Alright. He's going to do science by eating that animal. Now that's food science. The Namazu are real! Anywhere. Oh. Squeal, squeal. What's in the box? Sure. Why not? Three open. I don't know what that means. So did I win a card? Possible prize. Let's try one more round of it. All right. No card for me, I guess. Let's do the nutritional science to the faculty of medicine. All right. She's got a food plan. How are we doing for time? We'll do a little more still, I think. I think we can progress the plot a little farther. More logs, more logs, more logs. This lady's using rotting logs for her cooking? So I was playing World of Warcraft actually not that long ago, and I was just kind of one thing I will say that I really like about this game more. There's so much better fast travel. I appreciate that. What am I here for? Aha! Need some help, buddy? The hornbill. Feathers are green, has a distinctive caw. Okay. I'm a master sniper. I'll have you know. Green feathers makes a caw noise. Cuckoo. Caw caw. Green bird which caws. Is it you? That's a coo. That's a whack. Large green bird. Large red bird. So is it you then? What noise do you make? That's you! You're just a sneaky one. There we go. First shot. Sniped it. Well done, me. The perfect, flawless assassin technique strikes again.
Fair shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations?
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
Below. Yes.
the restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to
Interesting. Charlians, what are you up to?
are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
That's kind of suspicious.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south.
Aha! Remember?
City or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
Flee to the moon.
So it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
We'll just hide in the lift.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back.
All right. Useful information.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
The place I was just in. Okay, load. All right. Commence hauling. Do I really have to stick with you, buddy? I guess so. Terrible quest. I do not like this quest. Okay, thing from point A to point B, but be slow about it. You know what? Let's progress until we can find the next teleport spot. I think that will be a wise use of our time today. Then when I go back to turn those quests in, I'll be able to get back to where we were. All right, into the tunnels we go. Couple random critters, no problem. That wasn't bad at all. Production. Well, the facility there. Stray garlics. Stray egg. Stray queen. For lands. Mystery vegetables. Only list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. Alright, once again, I'm going to have to lend a hand, it seems. This time with the farmers. Muriel Agronomics. We're clearly meant to be here. The guy through the field. Prefer the form as filling us orderless a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests. Little wagons of crop samples. There's seeds with it. Oh. Seeds, eh? Lots of hauling. Grapes. Called Corvus. Ah, that's what it's from. Not as a prize, however, but it's research's ideal environment. Cultivation experiments. Stacked boxes. Bundles of common seeds and saplings. Sheaves of reports. And mystery glowing white flower.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
For a minute, I thought that was Ghost. Ghost Bro.
You don't seem convinced, but
Believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
I gotta admit, when I look at this man, I see botanist.
Have you learned aught of interest?
I learned about these flowers.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating.
Cryle.
But as it stands, we failed to gain any significant insight into the forum's
Are
undertaking.
these darkening?
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaean? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
I could accept that.
To eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Cryle. Staring at the flowers.
Cryle?
Hmm? Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
So we've got the noise, we got the despair, feeling flowers.
I can almost reach you.
Ooh, hello. Cryly, Wiley, what are you up to? You know what? I'm going to call it there, I think, today. We can chase after Erenville next time. Tadam, Aporia, Cockle's Forge. Yeah, I think that's how we'll approach things. Thank you, everyone who watched, whether before or after. Share your thoughts, of course. I'd love to read them. But it was, I feel, a very productive day today. And I think, yeah, we've definitely learned Charlene's heading for the moon. Their plans to surprise people with, hey, by the way, the world is doomed, but good news. Ooh. Now, there's an interesting question. How much is the general public going to be saved? Or is the forum just going to be like, all right, we've got ourselves, our families, some of our elite specialty workers, and the rest we just have to abandon? Well, that'll be interesting to find out. That will be fun to find out. But we'll find out all of that next time. Have a good night.